Welcome to Follow Your Dreamport, Season 2.
Thank you for having me.
The theme this season is Epic Fails and Second Chances. You're really prominent in the community for art and for music, and you're also someone who's outspoken and honest. So I already said your name, but introduce yourself and how you identify your main passion or passions in life.
I have a lot of passions. I'm Micah Harold. I'm a tattooer, painter, musician. I've been studying illusion since I was a teen.
Ooh,
So
cool.
sleight of hand, you know.
Yeah.
And I love chess. So
And chess.
I love literature. I write. So, you know, a healthy gumbo of different.
All in the creative vein.
That's correct.
And not one isn't maybe more important than the other, but you take turns in terms of
You
what
have
you're
to
pursuing.
take turns. You have to take turns because, you know, you hear the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none. Well, you can master all of them. It takes a lifetime, you know, if you have a lot of passions, like I feel like I do.
Right.
It takes a little bit of time. And the way I feel like I was able to achieve that was by rotating them. So I could focus on like college courses. You know, I have my majors and I have my minors. And right now, you know, tattoos, painting, and music. But there are times in my life when I was going hard with the illusion. I was performing. I was the vice president to the local International Brotherhood of Magicians for many years. I was very passionate about that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So how would you describe this current era in your life? Would you say, because you just released an album,
I did.
Micah and the Jazzgrass Apocalypse.
I wrote the Jazzgrass Apocalypse.
It's amazing. So musician is definitely like in the forefront right now, or has been in the past couple of years.
It's been on the back burner for almost a decade. And when 2016 hit, I was overcome with with many obstacles and a lot of grief. And it seemed like the only thing I had that helped me resolve a lot of it was the guitar that had been hanging up on my wall for so long. And I took it down and used that to sublimate what I was going through. But I've had a lot of good response. And what's the most valuable takeaway for me was when musicians were telling me, wow, I'd never heard anything like this, Micah.
I'd never heard of jazzgrass.
Right, yeah.
You made a new genre of music.
I really tried to bring something of my own to it.
So what would you, if you don't mind sharing, what would you consider your personal or professional biggest obstacle or hurdle that you've experienced until this date?
So I was in love. Everything was going great. I had a fledgling business. It was doing good. I had a few kinks in my life though that I had to iron out. And one of those was that I had been a high-functioning drug addict since I was about 15 years old. So I'd been getting inebriated. I've been on everything. I just went through the list. And to tell you the truth, it's amazing that I was able to survive all that. And so a sequence of events that motivated me to quit everything was, well, first off, someone who I cared about died. My grandfather, who I was very tight with, he passed. And someone who I loved walked out. And I was feeling this grief that was immeasurable. And at the time I thought, oh, this would be a great opportunity to quit all my vices. So horrible idea, but this is what I did.
Okay.
This is what I did. I had been on opiates for 18 years. I quit opiates. I had been smoking cigarettes for 25 years. I quit cigarettes. I'd been on all types of benzos like Xanax and Valium. I was on Klonopin. I quit all that, all at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Just for good measure, I also quit sugar, milk, and grain, and a couple of other things that I felt that I was addicted to, like television, video games. I quit everything. And so I was laying in my room, took about 2 months, just the worst condition you can possibly imagine. A lot of people think, okay, you're falling into this deep, dark hole. Eventually you're gonna pop out. No, you have to climb out.
Right.
No one's gonna throw a rope down to get you. You think it's gonna get better? It doesn't. The only way to get out of that hole is to climb out. So having realized that my body, my mind, and my heart somehow knew to gear me towards sublimating the grief, getting exercise in, and starting to turn my body around, and dieting. So I was able to take all the things about my personality that were addictive and transpose that
Wow.
to those things.
Positives.
So I started using all this time in the nighttime I had, waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just started walking. Next thing you know, I'm pulling about 10,000 steps a day, which is about 45 to 50 miles a week.
Whew.
And that's one of the things my addictive behavior geared me towards.
Right.
I could start to get all meticulous with my eating and count the calories and the carbs and do all that. So I lost 60 pounds in the first 5 months.
Holy moly.
At the same time, I started writing music.
Right.
And I just had the intentions of doing one song. I had to get it out of my system. And that song turned into 2 songs, and that song turned into 3, until 2 years later, I have a whole album.
So I'm curious, because most people, if they had a family member die or someone that they love not be in their life anymore, I would think that the common reaction would be to go further into the world of addiction to things that are bad for you, like further into addiction to opiates and benzos and alcohol and cigarettes. So I'm just curious as to what made you turn away instead of turn toward them.
I had done it so many times before. I had fallen down to the darkest depths in here and in here so many times, where I thought self-medication was working. But the more I educated myself, the more I realized that the things that in my body were depressants, and they were going to add to my grief and my physical pain, the more I convinced myself to get rid of them.
There's never a time where you regretted listening to the voice that was telling you to take care of yourself. Clearly, there's some voice in your head and your heart that was like, you need to survive. And and then you just chose to listen to that.
My daughters helped sculpt that voice. And you know what? As long as we're talking about it, self-care starts with that inside voice. How do you talk to yourself? What does that inside voice say to you?
Oh, you were preaching to the choir on this one, because that has just been my demon, because the voice has been so negative for so long. And then when I realized that self-care is telling that voice to shut the hell up.
That's right.
That's the only time that you can start to turn it around.
Well, sometimes we are the energy vampires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it takes a different perspective to realize that. Say, I'm not being nice to myself. Why did I call myself fat or ugly?
Right.
Why am I being so hard?
I would never treat my friend that way.
Never.
Yeah.
And that is a learned response. And there are ways to shed that like an old skin, and make this life the most beautiful life you could ever possibly think of living.
I feel like this is so inspirational. It's like needs to be in a church or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever, non-denominational. I'm not preaching organized religion. You know what I mean?
Our own church.
Our own church. Okay. So we've kind of talked about some of your achievements. Do you have a top of the mountain, I'm calling it a top of the mountain swing for the fences goal, that if you were able to achieve this one thing, you'd be like, damn, Micah Harold, I really made it. Like, it does not get any better than this.
I have a few goals. I have aspirations to release more albums, do more music. What I really am focusing on is mastering what I know. So I want to master, it's been a long time goal of mine to be a chess master, expert illusionist, master tattooer, master painter. So these are the things that keep me occupied. But the one thing that I focus more on than anything else is being the best possible example to my daughters as I can.
What is that? A rising tide floats all boats.
That's it. Yeah.
This is a wonderful segue into one of my favorite segments, which is called Awkward Josh the Cameraman Awkwardly Reads Compliments to Our Guests.
Excellent.
So part of our Dreamport series, one of my favorite parts is that when you do things like what you're saying, focusing on being a good example and helping people when you can, we want you to be acutely aware of how much that makes a positive impact in the people around you.
Excellent.
So we surveyed the online world.
Oh my.
We got some compliments that Josh is going to read to you.
Oh
And
my.
a verbal serenade, awkwardly.
Excellent.
Hey, it's me, Josh. I'm going to read comments to Micah. Oh, no. All right, here's the first one. And you're going to guess, I guess, after each one to see who you think it is.
I'll do my best.
And if you get it wrong, that's 10 points.
Okay.
Micah taught me that when you truly love your life, the haters can't touch you. You also recently told me you are going to have real happiness very soon. I can tell by looking at you. It's coming. You're ready. That is inspiring.
Let me see. You're going to have real happiness.
Name starts with an S, if that helps. It rhymes with Ella.
Oh, I love Stella. Yeah. There's my girl. Hey, good.
Stella Allen.
And you know, that's actually true. She's blooming into a brand new life that I'm very happy to see that happen for her.
I'm happy that you're happy.
Yeah.
All right, next one. When Micah was born and they brought him to me, I cried out loud and said, he's the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. I knew he would change my life forever and make the world a better place. I wasn't wrong. So whoever this is either was at your birth or birthed you.
Let me think about this for a second. There's a viewing room at the
A lot of
time.
people
The
at
way I
birth you?
recall it is a lot of people watching.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Debbie.
Deborah!
Yeah,
Yeah!
Mom! Thanks, Mom! I love you, Mom! I love you!
And that's it. Here you go.
Thank you.
I'm good. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so awesome.
You are.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to let everyone know where they can find out more about you as a tattoo artist and a musician. And that's it. We will catch y'all next time on Follow Your Dreamport. Hey, you did it. Thank you, Micah. Yay, Micah.
Hello everyone, I'm Big Daddy Yum Yum. I'm the man who brought pro wrestling to Dreamport. I'm the man who brought this city a championship. Catch me on the next episode of Follow Your Dreamport, right here on the J.M. McSharma page.